everyone, it's Chelsea here. I'm excited to give you this month's wrap up. That is the month of February 2020. So let's see what I read this month. I did not read a ton, honestly. I was getting a lot of things done and trying to do some adult things. So I'll let you know what I read. I did a few arcs here and there, so let's just jump into that. I know you guys have probably already seen the video. If not, I'll link it in the cards where I reviewed this book in full detail. That is Boy in the Box by Mark E. Fitch. This is set to come out in 2020, I think April, so a couple months from now. So if you're interested in this, I'll be sure to put the link for it in the description below so that you can purchase it yourself. This is a book about a group of friends who did something really bad in the forest a few years before, and it's haunted them and it's ruined their lives and taken over who they are, and they have to go back to the woods after one of the friends kills himself, so trigger warnings for that for sure. And they have to fix the mistake they made or cover it up even more. So there's a lot of heavy loss, tragedy, like deep psychological horror. There's some supernatural in this, so there's like spooky creature thingies and some ritualistic type cult activity. So it's got a whole lot in here. And you think with all that stuff it would just kind of go straight to the point, but there was a lot of fluff in this. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it either. I think that it had some truly spooky elements going on. In the very ending, I kind of liked, but I wish it had been more detail, like more of that instead of some of the random descriptions and simile metaphor throughout this. It was very fluffy, and I kind of just wanted the spooky parts. The characters' personalities felt pretty realistic. There was a little bit of homophobia at one point that didn't make sense to that character, like he had never had any other instance of being like that, so it kind of felt like the author's point of view. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know if that matters to some people, but it felt homophobic to me, so I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, thank you to Flame Tree Press for sending me this and the author. I really appreciate the opportunity to review this. I love getting ARC copies as long as it's something I'm interested in, and I did seek this one out, so thank you very much. I gave that one 3 stars just because it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't terrible either. It could be anywhere from 2 to 3 for me. Like, it just varies on the day. I don't think about it a lot, so it's probably not going to be in my memory forever, but I do think that it had some like Slender Man-esque horror to it. The next book I read was an arc of Volume 1 of Demon Slayer. This is a Viz Media edition. They've started putting arcs of their manga on NetGalley, and I did not know that until this month, so I discovered that, and I'm really happy about that because I do have a way to read them now on my computer. I wish I had an e-reader, but I don't right now, but manga on the computer is not that difficult because I know how quickly I can get through them, and they're usually around 200 pages, so it's not too bad. I fly through manga very quickly, if you haven't noticed. And so I read that, and we are currently watching the anime as well. It's only subbed as far as I know. I don't think there's a dub out yet, but we'll definitely watch that too when it comes out if it isn't. It is by Koyoharu Gotoge? I don't know how you say. I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at names. I'll be sure to put a link for that book in the description below. I don't get any money from you purchasing these books. I just wanted to give you the opportunity if you wanted to read them yourself. But I got the arc of the first volume on NetGalley, and I read it, and it was really good. It was very similar to the anime. I didn't see much difference at all. The art style is like very similar. I love the art style of this comic. Highly recommend it to people who are into shonen like Inuyasha and series that have a little bit of like fantastical elements to it, but also in that feudally era where their demons and humans live together and there's powers and those kinds of things, and they believe in a lot of spiritual things. It's very good. I love it so much, but the story is just about this brother whose sister, their whole family gets massacred by these demons, and his sister just only gets transformed into a demon, and he's trying to fight for her right to live, and he's trying to figure out how to change her back. So it's a very close brother-sister relationship, but it doesn't get weird, or at least it hasn't, and this one hasn't done that. So it just seems like a very good, genuine brother-sister love, and it warms my heart. My husband and I love this anime so much. I highly recommend that too if you're interested. But the manga was great. I can't complain about it. 5 stars. The next book that I read this month was There's Someone Inside Your House. This is by Stephanie Perkins, and it says it's a New York Times best-selling author. I don't know anything about that, But I did review the cover for this in a very recent video. I'll be sure to link that in the cards. If I had to relate this to something, I would say it's very similar to how R.L. Stine teen slasher like Fear Street books felt to me, or like Goosebumps for teens. I think that it has some elements to it that I really like, but it was really strange. This author normally writes teen romance novels, and it got very sexual for teenagers, like a little more than I would have felt comfortable. But I don't know if I would let a teenager read this, but someone my age probably is fine because, you know, we can handle it. So I'm not 100% sure who this was written for. I don't think I would recommend it to teens, but I guess you should just check this out for yourself before recommending it to a teen, because it might just be specific to who you know and how well you know them and if you think they could handle this. There was a lot of gore. She wasn't afraid to go there and describe all of the nasty ways that these people were being killed. It's a pretty creepy story about people coming inside of your house and you don't know what's happening. Like, he tries to mess with people and make them think they're going crazy by moving around furniture and things. So it's just kind of that kind of psychological kind of thing. The ending was kind of subpar and left me wanting more. Like, I wish that it had done more. I was kind of underwhelmed with who the killer was. I think that a lot of people who read this probably feel the same way, just based off of the few reviews I've seen of it. Not many people have reviewed this that I can find, or at least the people I care about to watch. I gave it 3 stars. I wouldn't say it's a 2, but I definitely wouldn't call it a 4. 3, maybe 2.75 is more accurate. It's really hard for me to rate this book. It's one of the harder ones I've had to rate, just because I did like it. It had some like really fun times in it and like some spooky teen movie, like Scream kind of elements, and I really like movies like that. So I want to like it a lot, but I can't look past some of the things that were in this. It was just kind of eh. So yeah, 3 stars for me. The next thing I read was Dreamin Sun Volume 1. This is a manga by Ichigo Takano. That is, the story and art is done by them. This is #1 New York Times best-selling creator of Orange. So if you've read Orange or watched Orange, I love the anime. I've never read it. I want to. This is the same creator, and the art is absolutely gorgeous. Their art is so good, and I love the design of this manga. This is so pretty and cute, and I could probably do a whole review of this cover. Maybe I will soon. But this is by 7 Seas Printing, and it was $12.99 full price, but I got it on sale for like $7 at a used store, so that was exciting. And it's a story about a girl who doesn't feel loved or appreciated and wanted at her own home because her mom died, and she has a stepmom, and her dad and him had a baby, or her dad and her had a baby. So she feels kind of pushed out, and that's understandable at a teenage range. And so she wants to move out on her own and start her new life and be happy. And so she moves into this boarding house after doing some tasks that the landlord requires of her. And she gets to move in, and there's some cute boys, of course, who live there. It's one of these new tropes that's happening with the boarding house, and I really like it. I think that this has a lot of potential. It feels a lot like Shortcake, honestly, because they're both boarding house stories, and there's boys and then there's a girl. But the girls are totally different. This one feels a little more traditional shoujo girl. She's not stupid, but she's also kind of clueless as far as guys and liking them and stuff goes. There might be a love triangle later, who knows? There might be even a rectangle, who knows? I really like it. I think the characters are really funny, and the art is great, and I think it has a lot of potential. I gave this one 5 stars. Can't wait to continue it. It's really good. The next thing I read was Love Me, Love Me Not. Yeah, that's what it's called. Volume 1 by Yo Sakisaka. I don't know how to say their name. I'm sorry. This is a arc from NetGalley, also from Viz Media, that I read. Thank you very much for letting me read this. I'll link everything I talk about in the description, so if you want to read it or check it out or buy it or pre-order it, you can do that there. No problem. This was a story about 2 girls who end up being friends, and they have totally different outlook on what love means and what relationships are and how to get it. One of them's really shy and quiet, but also really cute and doesn't know how to communicate with people. She kind of seems like she has anxiety. The other one, she's kind of out there, but the other friend thinks she might be like a player. Like, she worries that she's too flirtatious and is kind of treating guys like objects. And so they kind of have like a little bit of negative toward each other, but also they kind of get over that, and they love each other, so they're friends, and then they kind of, so there's like a friendship element of this, like a real life friendship between two girls who may or may not see eye to eye on relationships. So that's a really interesting element that I don't think I've ever seen before. Girl versus girl kind of thing, but maybe not so negative. And then there's guys, and I don't think they like the same guy, but they do like guys who are involved in the other person's life. So it's really interesting to see them liking maybe someone else's brother or something like that. So I'm interested to see where that goes, and if these girls stay friends, and you know, if both of them, or if only one of them find love, or maybe neither of them. What if they fall in love with each other? You know, it's that kind of thing where I don't know where it's going to go from here. But it wasn't the best thing I've ever read. I do think that it has potential, but I'm a little worried about it being kind of bland. The background art was almost non-existent. Like, I was flipping through the manga after I finished reading it because I don't remember any scenery. And I was like, I need to flip back through this so I can mention the art whenever I'm reviewing it. And there wasn't. Like, the characters and what they were holding were literally the only thing that was drawn. Like, there wasn't much background imagery. And I'm used to reading a lot of shoujo or shonen with a lot of background imagery. And I know shoujo is more known for having less, but I felt kind of cheated when I was reading this, because reading something like Dreamin Sun, where there's like a ton of background imagery, or at least texture and patterns, this isn't even a ton, but it's a whole lot more compared to Love Me, Love Me Not. So I was a little disappointed in that. I think that, I don't know, I know that these people work very hard on their work, but I do appreciate actual background imagery. So that's just my opinion. I gave it 4 stars. I think it could be really good, but that's all I've read of it. I don't know if I'll continue or not. We'll see. And the last thing that I read this month is a series that I have been loving, and I want to continue it. It's still ongoing. I think they're only at like volume 8 or something right now. And it's Shortcake. I read volume 4 this month. This was a pickup from my local Books A Million, and it's written by Sue Morishita. This is a writing and art duo. I think they just made a name for themselves, but one person did the art and one person did the story. And I think that's a great combination because the story is so good. I love, 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 love our main character, Ten. She feels like a real human. Like, you know, a lot of shoujo female protagonists feel the same. And that's a personal opinion to anyone, but I don't mind reading it as much. But it also is kind of refreshing to see a new type of girl who is very straightforward, like myself. Like, I'm very straightforward with people. She'll tell you if she likes you or not, and not in like a mean, hateful way, but like in a I don't want to waste time kind of way. And I appreciate that. I like a girl who is, you know, not gonna, oh, I'm so stupid that I can't tell anything, or I don't like anybody, or I don't know what this means, you know. She's a human being. Like, she seems legit, like a legitimate person. But she's got these 2 guys that she's like going in between, and she moved into a boarding house. Like I said, this is a boarding house kind of trope thing that's happening right now. And she liked one, and now she likes the other, and then like it's like, who's she gonna pick, love triangle thing. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I haven't read into any of this or like what it turns into or anything like that, but part of me kind of hopes that this could turn into a boy love kind of thing. While it would be sweet if she did get one of the guys, I also think that the way that the 4th one and the 5th one, I've already started it, are kind of leading to, it could turn into he likes him kind of thing. I'm not leading her on. I do genuinely like her, but I also like him. And maybe that's why I'm so confused on how I feel, is because I like both of them and not just one. So that's how I feel about it. I don't think there's anything malicious in that idea. But, you know, I can't wait to see where it goes. This series is so good. It is so well written and so beautifully drawn, and the backgrounds are great. The character designs are gorgeous. There's some really handsome panels in here that I'm just like, whew, y'all get me now. Yeah, I can't wait to see where this series goes. It is so good and so fun to read, and I just want more. Read this series, please. It's so good. And I definitely gave this one 5 stars. Every one of them, I think, has been 5 stars, I think. I'll have to go look at the first one, but I'm pretty sure I've given them all 5. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want, please leave me a comment below about what you read this month. I like to talk about books and manga with you guys. I definitely have been reading more manga lately, so I hope that's okay, because I love manga and comics, and they're really fun for me. They help me break up the monotony of reading or anything else. Like, if I just get overwhelmed with words, I can just go to a manga and it's not that big a deal. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know by liking this video and leaving a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're new here and you like this kind of thing. I've found so many new manga booktubers, or manga tubers I guess, here on YouTube, and I'm really excited that I've been getting more into that because I didn't know that was a thing. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye guys.